That was Act 3 from The Photographer, and work of John Sanborn, which is a good example of computer graphics for video. By the way, the young girl at the end of the video is my daughter Juliet, and that's her cat Rocky that you're looking at the end. There'll be some more videos, stay tuned, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. That was Malcolm McLaren's Madame Butterfly, showing that I'm not the only person interested in opera out there. In fact, I've written a book about my first 3 operas. The first one, Einstein on the Beach, the second, Satyagraha, about the life of Mahatma Gandhi, and the third, from the life of the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten. I'll be talking about this later on in the program. I'll be back also in 10 minutes, and I'll be playing a piece of music at that time. So stay with us. That was Big Heart from the Lounge Lizards. I promised a piece of music, and I'm going to play it now. This is from Glassworks, Opening. That was for Wicklow Hills, Pierce Turner. In case you didn't catch it, Pierce is Irish. He's from the town of Wexford, but I met him on First Avenue in New York City, where he's living now. He was one of those guys that handed me a tape on the street and said, "Hey, fella, would you listen to this tape?" And I listened to it. I liked it. I played it for my producer, Kurt Munchausen, and we decided to produce a record with Pierce. That record finally came out on Baker's Banquet. I did the arrangements. Kurt did the production. Another associate of mine, Michael Reisman, did some of the piano playing. It's a very warm record, a very personal record. It's very much Pierce. Something I hope you'll get a chance to listen to more of. Stay with us. There's still another hour to go. Hello again. This is the second hour of New Visions on VH1. I'm Philip Glass, and I'll be with you for the remaining of the program. Let's start now with Luca of Suzanne Vega. Suzanne is a very talented woman. I've worked with her on my own record, Songs from Liquid Days, where she contributed a couple of lyrics. And I've gotten to know her, and I've gotten to like the new record she does, the old record she does. I think it's something that you'll like too. Scanzi, Godfrey Reggio's film. By the way, we've just finished a new film of this sequence of films called Poakatsi. Now, Kainesgatsi meant life out of balance, and it was filmed entirely in North America. Poakatsi means life and transformation, and that was filmed in South America, Asia, Africa, and we should be able to see it this year. Why don't you stay with me now? I'll be back soon, and I'll be talking about my book, Music by Philip Glass.
You're watching VH1, Video Hits 1.
That was This Must Be the Place, the Talking Heads. I guess I've known them about 10 years now. In fact, I've worked with David Byrne on several of my own songs. The title song, Songs from Liquid Days, is actually his title. So I've gotten to know them pretty well, and I've kept pretty close to the music. I want to tell you a little bit about my book, Music by Philip Glass. This is a book about opera, about the operas I've written. But what I think makes it especially interesting in a way is that it's about the people I work with, about the designers, the directors, the choreographers, about the way an opera comes together. An opera can sometimes take 2 or 3 years in the making, and it can involve not only the authors, but sometimes hundreds of people. So it's a huge enterprise, and the stories that go into making an opera are not only the story of the opera, but of how the opera is made, and this book is about that. Stay with us, and we'll be back soon. Our program producer here has just asked me to describe my ultimate musical fantasy. So I've just been asked that a second ago. I think for me, it would be, I see it taking place in Radio City Music Hall, Liberace's Crystal Piano coming up from the floor. By the way, I have to tell you that in a way I actually already had my musical fantasy come through. I did the music for the 1984 Olympics for the torch ceremony, and I wrote the music, and I saw the rehearsal of it, and then the day of the opening ceremonies, I was there in the stadium, and I saw the runner running around with the torch, and I heard the music. So in a way, I already had my fantasy. That was Boy in the Bubble, Paul Simon's Graceland. During the time Paul was recording that, he was writing the words for my song Changing Opinion in the Liquid Days album. And I would go up in the afternoons to where he was working and show him the music I was doing, and we would adjust the words and the music, and we worked very closely together on that. I usually stayed for the afternoon and listened to some of the sessions. At the time, I knew it was going to be a big record. I'm happy to say that now because it's turned out that way. I was happy to hear it then, and I'm happy to hear it now. I'm going to play another piece for you now from Einstein on the Beach, which I did with Bob Wilson. This is the fourth knee play. You've been watching New Visions on VH1 for the last 2 hours. And I just want to remind you before I leave that this is my new book, published by Harper & Row. Also, a new clip from Poa Katsi, the new film I've done with Godfrey Reggio, the sequel to Kindness Katsi, will be seen, a clip of it will be seen on this program soon. And coming up next week, Tom Scott. Thank you.